From Fishers High School, it's Hamilton County Television's presentation of softball. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Brad Silbert here with you on Hamilton County Television for our second softball game of the season. It is a beautiful afternoon here in Fishers, a little bit on the chilly side, but in comparison to what we had a week ago, it is almost feeling a little bit tropical. Much, much warmer out here today. We'd like to give special thanks to all of our great Hamilton County Television sponsors. They include Community Health, Church, Hiddle and Antrim, Ivy Tech, Smith's Jewelers, Indiana Restoration Services, Logan Street Signs and Banners, Noblesville Trophies, and Mark Hairbrandt. We'd like to thank all of them for being sponsors for us to bring you softball and baseball all spring long here on Hamilton County Television. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we're going to turn it over to the public address announcer, John Brooks, and he is going to introduce our starting lineups.
Good evening, and welcome to Fishers High School. Thanks again for joining us tonight to watch the Noblesville Millers take on your Fishers Lady Tigers. Restrooms and concessions are located at the west end of the stadium. In case of an emergency or severe weather, we will come over the PA and give instructions. We look forward to a good night of softball. Now, for your starting lineups. First, for the visiting Millers. At shortstop, number 7, Grace Smith. Playing second base, number 8, Carly Blankenship. Number 10, and playing third base, Maddie Moore.
All right, that's fine.
Your pitcher for the Millers, number 19, Brooks Heron. At right field, number 14, Haley Lutz. In center field, number 21, Julia Furiak. First base, number 12, Emily Minette. Your designated player this evening, number 5, Kimmy Box. Your catcher, number 22, Brooke Rundle. And in the flex position, number 2, Abby Brown. The Lady Millers are coached by Deke Bullard, assisted by Sarah Agnew and Larry DeSalvo. And now for your Fishers Lady Tigers. Right field, number 4, Christy Gordon. Behind the plate tonight for your Tigers, number 11, Alyssa Chavez. At first base, number 20, Brianna Rance. Your designated player this evening for the Tigers, number 10, Brooke Hendricks. At third base, number 6, Katie Shaw. Playing shortstop tonight, number 5, Diane Abbott. In center field, number 43, Aaliyah Gilliam. At second base, number 9, Kirsty Brooks. In center field, number 22, Janie Schmidt. Your flex player tonight on the mound for your Lady Tigers, number 23, Gabby Schneider. Your Lady Tigers are coached by Aaron Woosley and assisted by Bridget Langen. At this time, if you would please rise, remove your hats as we pay respect to our country and those who have fought for our freedoms with our national anthem.
Our national anthem from Fishers High School. The game this afternoon is a Hoosier Crossroads Conference game featuring the Noblesville Millers, who will be the visiting team in the dark uniforms, and the Fishers Tigers in their red uniforms. The Millers come in early in the season at 2-0 with victories over Western Boone and Guerin. The Tigers are 1-1 so far. They beat Kokomo 4-2 earlier last week, and then lost one to Lawrence Central 10-7. In the regular season last year, the Millers swept both of the games. They beat the Tigers 8-4 in the regular season game, and then in the IHSAA sectional, the Millers beat the Tigers 4-1. It's been a few years, though, since that has happened, as the Tigers in both 2013 and 2014 dominated the series. Pitching-wise tonight, you're going to see a couple great pitchers in the mound for the Tigers. We got Gabby Schlater. She has got 19 strikeouts already on this young season, so she has hit the mound running. For the Millers, we'll see Brooke Heron out there. Defensively for the Tigers, here's how they will set. In left field will be Aaliyah Gilliam. In center field will be Jenny Schmidt. Right field will be Kirsty Gordon. Third base will be Katie Shaw. Diane Abbott will be at second. Kirsty Brooks at second. Brianna Rantz will be at first, and the battery will be Alicia Chavez and Gabby Schneider. First pitch is ready to go. It'll bring up Grace Smith, the shortstop for the Millers. First pitch is in there for a strike, called strike. Gabby Schneider, definitely a power pitcher. As I said earlier, she has 19 strikeouts in this young season. That one looked like it was a little bit low. Evens up the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Infield and outfield playing straight away for Smith. There's a high pop-up. Looks like the third baseman, Katie Shaw, should have a play on that. She does make the play for the first out of the game.
Next up, number 8, Carly Blankenship.
Carly Blankenship, the second baseman, steps in. 1 out, nobody on early in this game. Top of the first. Wind probably won't be too much of a factor today. What wind we do have is blowing in almost directly from right field toward third base. Blankenship takes the first pitch for ball 1. There's a swing and a miss. Actually foul tip there right into the glove of Chavez. That one misses for ball 2. 2 balls and a strike on the second baseman, Katie Blankenship. 55 degrees here at the start of the game. Inside. That one almost hit her. That was pretty close. 3 balls and a strike on the second baseman, Blankenship. Swing and a foul, almost straight back. Runs it to a full count. The Millers in their first 2 games have hit over 500 early in the season. There's a little pop-up. That's going to be out of the reach of everybody. Finally fielded by the second baseman, Kirsty Brooks, but that's the first base hit of the game and the first base runner of the game also. So Carly Blankenship, she takes it to a full count and ends up with a base hit. That'll bring up the third batter in Deke Bullard's batting order, the third baseman, number 10, Maddie Moore. A little bit high. Chavez faked a throw down to first. Didn't look like Blankenship was getting very far off the bag. The 1-0 pitch is on its way. High and outside again. 2-0. That makes it 3-0. That one came in just a little bit low and inside. So Gabby Schneider having a little bit of a control problem here early. That's a strike. Right over the outside corner of the plate. 3 balls and a strike. 1 out, 1 on. Top of the first. No score. That's a little bit inside, so Moore draws the base on balls. That puts runners at first and second
At the plate,
for
number
the
19,
cleanup hitter,
Brooke Heron.
the pitcher, number 19, Brooke Heron. Leiter misses on the first pitch. 1-0 on Heron. Another ball is high. Schneider usually doesn't have any trouble getting out in front of the batters, but she's struggling out there on the mound this afternoon. That's a strike over the inside corner. 2 balls and a strike. Three and 1 now. The Tigers in danger of loading the bases here early in this game, and I really do believe one of the keys to this game is to try to keep this thing as close as possible, because with the dominant pitchers that we have in these games, in this game today, it's the pitching is definitely going to make a difference. And if one of the teams can get out to a fairly substantial lead, it may be a little bit difficult for them to catch up. The 3-1 pitch. There's a strike right at the knees in the outside corner. Good pitch. So the Tigers have worked it up to a full count again. There's a foul ball, almost straight back. Still 3-2, 1 out. Runners on first and second. Carly Blankenship on first, Maddie Moore. Correction, Carly Blankenship on second, Maddie Moore on first. There's a high pop-up out to center field. The center fielder, Janie Schmidt, gets under that for the second out of the inning.
Up next, number 14, Haley Lutz.
So that's the second out of the inning. Haley Lutz, the right fielder, steps in. The last few pitches, Gabby, I think, has been showing a little bit more confidence than she was earlier. Earlier, she seemed to be just a little bit tentative and was having trouble getting the ball, not getting the ball over the plate, but it was coming in way, way too high. Now she's keeping the ball down. And she's ahead of Lutz, 0-2. Two outs, 2 on. Top of the first. There is no score. The 0-2 pitch wouldn't bite on the high fastball. Strike three. So Gabby strikes out the sides there and gets out unscathed. So in the the top of the first, there were no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 2 left on the bases. In the middle of the first, the Millers nothing, and the Tigers coming up to bat. Community Health is Central Indiana's leader in providing health care services where and when patients need them. With any questions, you can contact Community Health at 317-355-7775 or check out their website, www.ecommunity.com. I'd like to thank our great Hamilton County television crew, Jim Wofford in the truck today, Dave Kuhn up on the camera just above us here in the press box, providing all of the picture and sound for you on what is turning out to be a very, very nice day here in Fishers, at Fishers High School. The wind seems to have died down a little bit now, and it looks like maybe it won't be quite as much of a factor as it has been. Brooke Heron is completing her warm-ups. Defensively for the Millers, left to right, it's going to be Abby Brown on left, Julia Fiernat in center field. Haley Lutz will be in right. Maddie Moore at third, Grace Smith at second. Carly Blankenship at first. Emily Minette at first. That was Carly Blankenship at second, excuse me. The catcher is Brooke Rundle, and the pitcher is Brooke Heron.
Up first for your Lady Tigers, number 4, Christy Gordon.
Head coach Aaron Woosley will be coaching at third base. His assistant Bridget Langdon will be over at first. Christy Gordon will be the first batter for the Tigers, the first batter to face Brooke Heron. That was a little bit low and inside. 1 ball, no strikes. Two balls, no strikes. Early in the season, before it gets warm, I just kind of have a funny feeling these pitchers at times have a little bit of a hard time getting into their rhythm. That was a nice rising fastball there by Heron. Makes it 2 balls and a strike. That one came in a little bit low. 3-1. No outs. We're at the bottom of the first. Tigers with their first at bat of the game. Timeout is called. Heron steps off again. I think we might have a little bit of miscommunication between Heron and Rundle, the catcher, that they may be a little confused by signs or just not sure what they are calling, and just want to make sure that they're all on the same wavelength. Same time, Christy Gordon goes over to talk to Aaron Woolsey to see what he would like her to do on a 3-1 count here early in the game. My assumption at this point would be is she's probably going to be taking this pitch all the way. Here's the 3-1. A little bit high. So Christy Gordon, first batter for the Tigers. She reaches on a walk, and that'll bring up the catcher, Alyssa Chavez.
Up next, your catcher, number 11, Alyssa Chavez.
First pitch to Chavez is high and outside for ball 1.
I'm good. How are you?
That one's a little low and inside. 2 balls and a strike. Both of the pitchers struggling early here in this game to get the ball over the plate. Fortunately for the Tigers, the Millers were not able to take advantage of that in the first inning. That one is way outside. Throw down to first. Back in time is Christy Gordon. Chavez played in 23 games last season. She batted .360, so good batter up there at the plate. 3 balls and a strike on the catcher, Chavez. There's a swing and a miss. Runs it to a full count. The 3-2 pitch. There's a line drive right off of the glove of the shortstop Smith. And Christy Gordon took off with the pitch, and unfortunately Smith could not make the play.
At the plate for the Tigers, number 20, Brianna Rance.
So the Tigers are in business here in the bottom of the first. That is being scored as an error on Grace Smith. That brings up Brianna Rance. Takes the first pitch, strike 1. Very similar situation to what we saw in the top of the first with 2 runners on base. Count is even now at 1-1 on Brianna Rance. There's a drive into center field. Nobody's going to get to that. That is probably going to score at least 1 run. And it looks like Coach Woolsey is holding Alyssa Chavez at third base. A solid base hit. Actually, give her credit for a 2-base hit on that one by Brianna Rance. That scores 1 run. And you have runners at first and third with no outs. And the cleanup batter, Brooke Hendricks, coming up. She is the designated player today. The Millers are pretty fortunate pitching-wise, as they're pretty deep pitching. Not only Heron, but with Kristen Mello being an excellent pitcher, a senior pitcher. First pitch to Hendricks is a ball outside. Hendricks batted .266 last year. And Deke Bullard decides he's going to make a visit to the mound to try to calm down Brooke Heron. At the same time, the Fishers players are all huddling around Coach Aaron Woolsey. So basically, here's where we're at. We're in the bottom of the first inning. The Tigers have already scored 1 run. They've got 1 hit. Millers have given up an error already, but there are no outs with runners at first and third. And the cleanup batter, Brooke Hendricks, in there. She's up there with a 1-0 count. We'll have to see what the strategy is on both sides here. Let me correct myself. The Tigers have runners at second and third. Alyssa Chavez is at third. Sorry about the confusion, folks. It's early in the season. pitch to Hendricks is a little bit outside. 2-0. There's a ball that was actually inside, probably would have gone to ball 3, but Hendricks took a swing at it and fouled it off. Two balls and a strike on Hendricks. There's a foul straight back. Evens up the count at 2-2. Two balls, two strikes, 2 on, no outs, bottom of the first. There's a high fly ball. It's going to be in foul territory. The right fielder, Haley Lutz, grabs it. There's a play at the plate. Safe. Great base running there by Alyssa Chavez to score the second run for the Tigers. And also on the play, Brianna Rance, she advances to third. So credit Brooke Hendricks with a run batted in. Sacrifice fly out to right field. First out of the inning for the Tigers. Still got a runner on third. Brings in the third baseman, Katie Shaw. There's a nice pitch right down the center of the plate to Shaw. Pitch from Heron. That is well hit into left center field. Nobody's going to get to that. That's going to go all the way to the wall. Shaw is in with a stand-up double and an RBI. So that makes it 3-0 now in favor of the Tigers here early. 1 out. We're in the bottom of the first. Tigers have done this courtesy a walk, an error, and 2 doubles. Shortstop Diane Abbott steps in. Inside for ball 1.
So we have 3 runs on 2 hits.
Nice curveball there that dropped right over the heart of the plate. Evens the count up at 1-1. Tiger coach Aaron Woolsey has got to be very happy with the results of this inning. Both halves of the inning, because it looked like the Tigers might have been in a little bit of trouble there in the top half of the first, with the Millers having 2 on with 1 out, but they managed to pitch around that, and no runs scored in the top. 3 runs, 2 hits, 1 error here in the bottom of the first. Check swing. The appeal, it was not a swing. 3 balls and a strike. The fielder, Elia Gilliam, on deck. There's a foul ball back over the right side of the field into the batting cage. Full count now on the shortstop, Diane Abbott. Close, but not close enough. Abbott takes the second walk of the inning. Bringing up the left fielder, Elia Gilliam. First strike to Gilliam is a strike, one strike. We do have some action out in the Noblesville bullpen now. There's a pop-up going straight back. The catcher is going back for it, and who ends up taking it? The catcher, Brooke Rundle, makes the play. So that is the second out of the inning. That's going to bring up the eighth batter,
Number 9,
Kirsty Brooks. Low for ball one on Brooks. There's a ground ball to third, bobbled, but she does make the play. The third baseman, Maddie Moore, got it over to Emily Minette in time to retire Brooks for the third out of the inning. So in the bottom of the first for the Tigers, there were 3 runs on 2 hits. The Millers made 1 error, and there was 2 runners left on base. So at the end of 1, it's Tigers 3, Millers nothing. Say from personal injury claims to complex business litigations to divorce cases, Church, Hiddle, and Antrim protect the rights of individuals, businesses, schools, and government bodies all around Indiana, including Noblesville, Fishers, Merrillville, and Tipton. You can contact their Noblesville office at 317-773-5320 or simply visit their website, cchalaw.com. Church, Hiddle, and Antrim. So the Tigers managed to send 8 batters to the plate and put 3 runs across the plate in the bottom of the first. Obviously a very, very good start for Coach Woosley's Tigers. Very excellent start for the Tigers. I'd like to remind you that you can follow us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/Hamilton County TV. And be sure to follow us for all the IHSAA softball games of the week coming up every Tuesday between now and Memorial Day. Check our sports calendar at www.httv1.com. Well, the Millers try to get back into this game here. Bringing up the center fielder, Julia Furiak. She's the number 6 batter in the order. She takes the first pitch for ball 1. There's a little pop-up over to the second baseman. Kirsty Brooks is there to make the play for the first out of the second inning.
Up next, number 12, Emily Minette.
First baseman Emily Minette steps in for the Millers. First pitch to Minette is in there for strike 1. Schneider seemed to come back with a lot more authority here in the top of the second. Little bit low. Just a little low.
I don't care.
The 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss on a nice fastball from Schneider. One ball and 2 strikes. And the first baseman, Emily Minette. High and outside. 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Emily Minette goes out on strikes. Second out in the top of the second inning for the Millers. To bring up the designated player, Kimmy Box. First pitch to Box. Outside. Ball 1. Schneider seems to be a little bit more in control now than she was in the first inning, at least in the beginning of the first inning. You can almost see a lot more confidence in her right now. Check, swing, strike. Evens the count at 1-1. Another strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Undesignated player Kimmy Box. There's a high pop-up. Looks like the shortstop Diane Abbott makes the play. Almost looked like she and Janie Schmidt were going to crash there for a little while, but they didn't. So, in the inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on the bases. In the middle of the second, the score remains Tigers 3, Millers nothing. Fans, Ivy Tech prepares Indiana residents to learn, live, and work in a diverse, competitive environment. To answer any questions on enrolling or general information, you can visit their website at www.ivytech.edu or give them a call at 317-921-4300. Brooke Heron steps back to the mound to begin the bottom of the second. First inning for the Tigers, most definitely a success. Sent 8 batters to the plate. The number 9 batter in Aaron Woosley's order, the center fielder number 22, Janie Schmidt, comes up.
Tigers, number 22, Janie Schmidt.
Schmidt saw very little, if any, varsity action last year. There's a bunt. Great play on there by the catcher Heron. The third baseman, Maddie Moore, she was charging on that when she saw her go around for bunt, and the ball went right over her head. But a very alert play by Brooke Heron to make the play on that and get the first out. Back to the top of the order, the right fielder, Christy Gordon, steps in. She walked in the first and eventually scored the first run for the Tigers. The 0-1 pitch right to the center fielder. The center fielder, Julia Furiak, she was playing almost halfway in the gap in left field. And good scouting there on the part of the Millers, because they had that play all scoped out. Catcher, Alyssa Chavez, steps in. Second out of the inning, 2 outs. Nobody on. There's a pop-up. Left fielder Abby Braun is under it. She makes the play for the third out of the inning. So a real quick bottom of the second for the Tigers. And at the end of 2, it is now Tigers 3, Millers nothing. Smith Jewelers has been serving Hamilton County, including Noblesville, Fishers, Westfield, and Carmel for over 65 years. Many jewelry stores have come and gone, yet Smith remains. If one were to ask how and why, the answer would be our outstanding jewelry selection and customer service. The knowledgeable staff at Smith's Jewelers is eager to give our customers a memorable, positive experience. Contact Smith Jewelers at 317-773-3383 or check out their website at www.smithsonthesquare.com. A rather quick second inning in comparison to what happened in the first inning for both teams. 3 up, 3 down for the Tigers. 3 up, 3 down for the Millers in the second. Just about the reverse of what we had happen in the first inning. So we're moving into the third inning, and that is going to bring the Millers back to the plate, and that'll bring their 9-1-2 batters up. As Gabby Schneider is getting ready there to pitch. She'll face Brooke Rundle first. The catcher, Brooke Rundle, steps in to lead off the top of the third for the Millers. First pitch is swung, fouled just about straight back. Rundle ended up getting under that one just a little bit. The 0-1 pitch, just over the outside corner. Schneider is ahead of Rundle, 0-2. The 0-2 pitch, another foul straight back. Count remains 0-2 on the catcher, Brooke Rundle. Another foul ball. Quite a battle up there at 0-2. There's a high pop-up. Shortstop Diane Abbott goes back, makes the play for the first out of the top of the third for the Millers. Back to the top of the order. That'll bring up shortstop Grace Smith.
Number 7, Grace Smith.
She flew out to the third baseman Katie Shaw in the first inning. Outside and high. 1 ball, no strikes. One and one the count now on the shortstop Smith. That one's a little bit inside. 2 balls and a strike. Evens a count of 2-2. Grace Smith is a sophomore. She saw a lot of action last year. She played in 24 games last year. Batted .293 her freshman year. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Another foul off to the right side, out of play. Here's the 2-2. That one's probably going. Well, no, it's going to be caught. Aaliyah Gilliam makes the catch in left field. I thought when that left the bat, that might be in the gap, but Gilliam got over there and made the play for the second out of the inning.
Up next, number 8.
Number 8, Carly Blankenship comes up. Had a base hit in the first inning, eventually got to second base, but got stranded there and did not score in the first inning. Blankenship takes the first pitch for a strike. 0-1. 2 outs. We're in the top of the third. Tigers ahead of the Millers 3-0. All the scoring has come in the first inning. There's a foul ball just outside of the third baseline. Three umpires in the field today, which obviously makes it much, much better for the umpires making the call than the traditional old 2 official crew. 0-2. There's a ground ball to short. That one's booted by Diane Abbott. And I would assume that is probably going to be the first error of the day for the Tigers.
Up next, number 10, Maddie Moore.
That'll bring up Maddie Moore. Maddie Moore's a sophomore. She also saw considerable game action last year. Foul ball. Once again, just barely to the left of third base. That ball was headed down there into the left field corner and probably would have scored Blankenship. Moore squares to bunt, brings the bat back, pitches outside. Chavez thought about throwing down to first, but did not. 1 ball, 1 strike, top of the third. Schneider's pitch is well hit into left field. That is gone. A home run for Maddie Moore. So there is the coach's worst nightmare. You give up an error to the previous batter. Next batter comes up and hits a home run. And everybody at home plate there to greet Maddie Moore.
At the plate, number 19, Brooke Heron.
So that certainly changes the complexion of this game, makes it much, much closer than it was, and brings up the pitcher, Brooke Aaron. Very well hit ball by Maddie Moore. There's another one that's well hit. If that stays fair, it is a foul ball. Foul ball, and that just barely foul. That was close. John Brooks is over here to my left, and the look on his face was precious. I wish I would have had a camera. He saw that ball. That ball was flying higher and higher and higher, and I think he was thinking the same thing I was. Go outside the foul pole, outside the foul pole. And it did. All it came was it produced a strike 1 count on Brooke Heron. So the Millers have tightened it up here in the top of the third with 2 runs on the 2-run homer by Maddie Moore. The 0-1 pitch. There's a strike. 0-2. 2 batters in a row have put some pretty good muscle behind that ball. There's strike 3 called. That is the third out of the inning. But in the top of the third, as a result of an error, the Millers do manage to score 2 runs. They were both obviously unearned. They did it on 1 hit. 1 error, nobody left on the bases. So in the middle of the third, it is now Millers 3. Tigers 3, Millers 2. So the Tigers have got a little work to do here in the bottom of the third to try to get those runs back. The Millers did it with an error and the long ball. Tigers will look to put some kind of a rally up there and put some more runs back on the board. Say Logan Street Signs and Banners specializes in last-minute signage and banners, serving Noblesville and Hamilton County since 1992. Contact them at 773-7200 or contact them at their website, www.loganstreetsigns.com. I'd like to welcome you to the Hamilton County Television Tuesday night softball game. All during the next month and a half, 2 months, we'll be bringing you the best of Hamilton County softball on Tuesday evenings from various schools around the Hamilton County area. Next week we'll be at Guerin High School on Tuesday evening, as Guerin will be taking on Greenfield Central. Brianna Rance is the batter for the Tigers. 2-0 is the count. Brooke Aaron breathing a little bit easier now since the score has been not evened up or just tightened up a bit. Makes a big difference to the pitchers. Two balls and a strike. That one's just a little bit outside. Works at the count to 3-1. The first baseman, Rance. She had a double in the first inning and scored the third Tiger run. There's a little one to the shortstop. Grace Smith picks it up. Gets it over to Emily Minette to retire Brianna Rance for the first out of the inning. Designated hitter Brooke Hendricks comes to the plate. There's a very well-hit ball deep to left field. It is caught. What a play there by Abby Brown. Great play by Abby Brown. I thought when that left the bat, we had another one leaving the ballpark, but it was not to be. Right to the fence. Abby Brown makes a great play on the long drive by Brooke Hendricks. Just turns out to be a long out. Second out of the inning. And that'll bring up the third baseman, Katie Shaw. Katie Shaw had a double her first time up in the first inning. That one bounces in. 1 ball, no strikes on Katie Shaw. Fisher's athletic director, Jim Brown, is here in the press box. We're going to ask him if he can join us here a little bit later. Talk about Fisher's athletics. Well, we're doing that. Katie Shaw gets her second hit of the day, a solid hit out to right field. That'll bring up the shortstop, Diane Abbott. Abbott walked in the first. 2 outs. We're in the bottom of the third. The Tigers trying to get at least 1 or 2 of these runs back that the Millers scored in the top of the inning. First pitch to Abbott is high and outside for ball 1. Here's a steal attempt. And Shaw is in there. So a stolen base for Katie Shaw. I don't think they had much chance of getting her. That she got a real good jump on that ball, and a good throw might have been close, but I think she was in there one way or the other. Swing and a foul tip. That'll make it 1-2 on the batter, Diane Abbott. Katie Shaw at second. Diane Abbott in the batter's box. Aaron Woosley coaching at third, hoping that Miss Abbott can come through with a hit here. There's a swing and a foul straight back. Still 1-2. 2 outs. We're in the bottom of the third. There's a swing and a miss. Abbott goes down, and so do the Tigers in the bottom of the third. In the bottom of the third, there were no runs. There was one hit, no errors, one left on the bases. We are through 3 now. It is the Tigers 3 and the Millers 2. Noblesville Trophy offers a large range of products, including sports trophies, corporate awards, and in-house embroidery. Noblesville Trophies provides you with same-day service for those last-minute decisions. You can contact them at 773-7391 or check them out online at www.noblesvilletrophies.com. Going to ask Jim Brown to join us. Jim, the athletic director here at Fishers High School. He's been here since day one with the reopening of Fishers High School. What, I think this is your 10th year now, Jim?
Yeah, 10th years of high school. We had 3 years as freshman campus.
Well, first of all, on behalf of Hamilton County Television, we're obviously very pleased to be here today to bring people this broadcast, and we thank you and your staff for all their hospitality. And can you give just kind of a state of the athletic department here at Fishers? How are things going?
Well, we're just getting spring sports started, but it is going like crazy. If anybody was here tonight, they'd see we got rugby practice going on out there out over right field there. Of course, we got JV and varsity softball here. We got JV baseball game going on behind us, and lacrosse on the varsity field. So really, that's kind of a light night for what some of these nights are around here.
There's always something going on here, isn't there?
You know, every night, all the time. And we just, there's a lot of opportunities for the kids, not only here, but outside here when you're here. But if you go inside, there's things going on in there all the time, too. It's just as busy inside as it is outside.
Haley Lutz steps in for the Millers.
It's just we appreciate you guys giving the opportunity, broadcasting these games throughout the county and giving a look to everybody and other families that can't be here can see things, and it's just a nice opportunity that you guys provide for everybody.
Oh, we appreciate that, and we enjoy doing it. One of the things that's so neat about having the internet television is that if a person can't watch it live, obviously we're doing this live right now over the internet, they can always pick it up later.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that there are parents who, for some reason, have got to travel or maybe caught late in a meeting or something like that and can't get here, but it gives them the opportunity to do it. And that. Haley Lutz goes down swinging for the first out of the inning for the Millers.
Up next for the Millers, number 21.
I want to talk a little bit about a dear friend of ours, Jim. I want to talk a little bit about Wes Sheely. I know, as everybody in the community knows, Wes has come down with ALS, and he's been your public address announcer here for a number of years, starting with baseball and that. And I know there's going to be a fundraiser coming up here in a couple weeks for Wes, and I'd like you to just talk about that a little bit and what that means to the community.
Wes is a great man, great just in every way, and he has come out and he started with baseball when his sons were playing, announcing, and then when we had the openings, he moved over and all the football, JV, every level, JV, varsity, and freshman, and then came inside and boys and girls basketball, both levels, and he's always willing to do whatever we need, announcing wise, and his whole family is a great family. So
I've known Wes for about 15 years, and he is just a great, great, great person.
Mm-hmm. I mean, all of his kids are out of school now, but he still, wants to be back here and help us out in any way he can. And we're just fortunate we've had the opportunity to have him here in our community and our school to do these things. And so anything that, anybody we can do here and the community can do for him, we owe it to him. And so that fundraiser coming up is going to be, we hope, very successful.
April 16th, I believe.
Yes.
And the theme of the fundraiser, of all things, is a cornhole tournament.
Yeah. And
I will have the privilege of being there and being one of the hosts for that. So I'm looking forward to a great evening. And all of our, sympathies and that go out to Wes and his family because of the ALS situation for him. But the community and people have just really, really, really stepped up and helped where there's been needed help here.
Yeah, they have all in other ways also.
We're in the top of the fourth here for the Millers. 2 outs, nobody on. Emily Minette is in here with a 2-2 count. And when we come back after the next inning, we can talk a little bit more about the specifics on that fundraiser and give some people some information where if they would like to come to it, fine. If they would like to make a donation, that would be greatly, greatly appreciated.
Tell you, you chose a good game so far tonight. To anybody that's here or watching on the computer, it's been a great one so far.
Yeah, it started out in the first inning. It looked like maybe it was a matter of some of the kids getting some butterflies out and calming down. But I commented last inning that I thought Gabby had really, really calmed down and gotten into a groove. And of course, the 2 runs last inning, both of those being unearned since they followed the error. So you hate to see the runs happen, but there she goes. She struck out 2 this inning for the third out. So in the top of the fourth, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on the bases. We're in the middle of the fourth. Score remains Tigers 3, Millers 2. Let's talk about that fundraiser, Jim. I know it's on the 16th of April. It's from 5. I believe it starts about 5 o'clock. Mm-hmm. I don't know exactly when the cornhole tournament is going to start, but I guess what I would say is I know that in your office you have all the information on it. And so if people are interested in getting information on it, want to make a donation, I had a lady come up to me in an event last night, and she just said, I want to give you a donation for Wes. And I said, that'll be great. I don't know how to do it. And I suggested to her, I said, we had some handouts there, and I suggested to her, I said, just go ahead and take the handout, and you can do everything online.
I think we had it earlier, the information on the website, but the athletic website. When we get back from spring break on April 11th, that week right before, we're going to post some stuff back up on again and tweet it out again, so people we get after April 11th, it'll be back up again, so they can check that out. And
that's good.
There'll be things for a lot of people to do, and everybody in the community knows each other. They'll come out and have a good time.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk a little bit about this softball team here, Jim. It has been an interesting game, an interesting season so far. You guys are 1-1. Fell to LC, I believe, but yes, beat Kokomo. And I think the significance is, to me, the significance of beating Kokomo is just the fact that they are they aren't ranked, but they did get an honorable mention in the preseason poll. So, that tells me that you guys beat a fairly good team.
Yes. We opened up with them, I think, the last 3 years. It's usually been a pretty good game. And of course, LC, this is one of their better years, and we knew that before they got here, that they had a lot of kids returning, had a decent pitcher returning. So we knew that'd be a good game. And then we've added 3 this weekend. We got Muncie Central tomorrow night, but then this weekend, Friday and Saturday, the girls go down south to Jeffersonville, Borden, and New Albany, and going to play on Friday and a doubleheader Saturday. Get play some people down there, new faces, and then have a short break and come back, and then Southeastern, I think, on the 12th. So it gets going, and then just pretty soon you know it, you're halfway through the season.
Well, the leadoff batter for the Tigers, the left fielder, that's Aaliyah, I believe, isn't Gilliam?
Yeah.
She draws a walk, but there has been a change for the Millers, and Kristen Mello is pitching. Anybody who is from Fishers and knows anything about softball will remember the name Mello from the 2007 season when the Royals won the state championship. Kristen is the younger sister of Morgan Mello.
Actually, Kristen was here at Fisher's and played our freshman year here. And then her and her mother moved to Noblesville. So she started her career here at Fisher's.
Kirsty Brooks steps in.
Stephanie Green, pinch hitting.
Excuse me, we do have a pinch hitter here. The pinch hitter is Stephanie Green. Strike over the outside corner.
Stephanie played for us last year, so she's got some experience here hitting. So hopefully we can keep things going. That's a hit.
There's a well-hit ball to left field over the head of the left fielder, Abby Brown. That's going to put runners at first and second with no outs. Gilliam had no choice but to hold up on that one, Jim. She was halfway between first and second base.
Yeah.
And we're going to have a pinch runner here now. Kirsty Brooks is going to re-enter the game. But in the case of Gilliam, that ball, when it left the bat, I thought it might be over the left fielder's head, but it was one of those that you really just weren't quite sure about.
Kind of died up in the air.
Yeah, and had Brown made a play on it, they may have been able to double Gilliam off of first. So good base running on the part of the Tigers here, and they are moving here in the beginning of the inning. And wow, what a great play there by the third baseman, Maddie Moore. Janie Schmidt went up there to bunt, and the ball went straight up in the air, and Moore went over there, and the ball was coming down right next to the fence. And I thought she was going to make contact with the fence. Fortunately, the contact she made was not very serious, so she's out on a fly out to the third baseman, Moore, for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, she came from third base almost all the way down to the true backstop part of it. That was a great move.
That's the second bunt today. That's the second time somebody has squared the bunt that's just popped the thing up. Evens a count up at 1-1. Christy Gordon in the batter's box. Walked and flew out to center. That one's a little outside, gets away from the catcher Rundle, and both runners advance. So now we've got one out, two runners in scoring position, a 2-ball and 1 strike count on the right fielder, Christy Gordon. There's one right back to the pitcher.
Come on in.
Good job there by Kristen Mello to get the out. Gets the second out of the inning. She did a good job on looking the runner back and making sure that runner was not going to take off with the ball. And she just barely had enough time to make the play at first, but she does get the out.
Yeah, she held her real well. You can tell she has experience. Otherwise,
did a good job.
A lot of times that run would have scored.
Mm-hmm. Alyssa Chavez, the catcher, steps in. Reached on an air, flew out to left field. Been a lot of fly balls in this game tonight, Jim.
Yeah, there has. Both fair and foul territory.
Yeah. 2 balls, no strikes on Chavez.
Ooh.
That's a strike. Called strike. There's a foul ball over to the right side. Evens up the count 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runners on. Kristen Mello trying to hold the Tigers scoreless this inning. Alyssa Chavez has got other ideas. She'd like to put one in play and score at least 1 or 2 runs here and maybe get those runs back that they gave up in the third. That's a little high. Full count. I still say, according to my sources here, still 55 degrees out there, and the wind doesn't look like it's too much of a factor right now.
It's died down some. It's starting to get a little bit more comfortable.
Chavez reaches on a walk. And that'll bring up the first baseman, Brianna Rance. Rance had a double in the first inning, grounded out to shortstop in the third. Excellent scoring chance here for the Tigers. Strike 1 on Rance. Fastball out of the lower corner of the plate. Another strike over the outside corner. Rance down 0-2. Strike 3 called. 3 called strikes in that inning to end the threat for the Tigers. But in the inning, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 3 runners left on base. We are through 4. Score remains Tigers 3, Millers 2. Great game we got going here this afternoon. Jim, let's talk a little bit about baseball. How are we looking for baseball for the Tigers this year?
They opened up with a nice win over Kokomo. They opened up with Kokomo also the other night. I think it was 6-0. They are going southern trip down to Tennessee this weekend, and next week play I think 5 games down there against teams from Kentucky and Tennessee. So
that seems to be getting more and more and more popular among the baseball teams around here. I remember, a few years ago you didn't see too many of the teams traveling, but boy, more and more of them are going down there to get some games in and maybe also take advantage of maybe some warmer weather.
Yeah, that's a big thing. You never know, scheduling-wise, because you're scheduling at least 2 years ahead, so you never know what the weather's going to be. And you schedule games around here, and you could wind up a whole week of nothing. It just so some of these teams in northern part of Indiana will go down to Kentucky, Tennessee, and most you got a better chance of having some good weather and get in, some new games, new teams, and I think normally the tournament that we're in usually pretty decent teams. I know the last couple of years they've had some of the class champions from the Tennessee playing, so they get some good competition down there and come back and then open up with the conference.
Well, I've also seen it just the opposite during spring breaks, where some of the schools have had teams from northern Indiana and Michigan and the Detroit area come here and try to get away from the snow and cold up there. I grew up in the Chicago area, and at this time in Chicago we still had snow on the ground.
The IHSAA allows you a 300-mile radius a 300-mile trip from the border of Indiana, so that's all the farther you could go in any direction.
There's a bunt down the first base line, fielded by the first baseman Brianna Rance for the first out. So Kimmy Box, the designated player, is retired. Number 9 batter in the order for Deke Bullard is the catcher, number 22, Brooke Rundle. That one's a little outside. I know through your years, Jim, you've probably seen You've seen a lot of good things. You've seen a lot of crazy things.
Yeah.
What's the goofiest thing you've ever come across as an athletic director?
Oh, man, I'm going to have to think on that one because
Pop fly, fielded by first baseman Brianna Rance.
about the time you think you've seen it all, something new comes up. But, man, right off the top of I know there's been a lot of crazy things. I'm just drawing a blank right now trying to think what they would be. But it's, that's the thing about this job is there's nothing ordinary. There's not a everyday thing.
It's different every day, isn't it?
It is. So, and that's good and bad. But that's what I like about it is, you come to work and there's some things that you're going to get done or do, and a lot of times those change real fast.
Well, we really appreciate the hospitality that you and Rob give us here, and when John was here, it was always a pleasure, whether it was a hometown television or now Hamilton County TV, to come here and be a part of the Tiger experience. Believe me, we go to a lot of different places, and we you guys always make us feel at home, and we really appreciate that hospitality.
It's only going to work if everybody works together, and so that's what we believe, and so you're helping us and we're helping you, and that's how you get success.
Shortstop Gracie Smith is standing in there now. She's got a 1-2 count on her. 2 outs. We're in the top of the 5th in a 3-2 game with the Tigers on top. There's one coming right back here. That's one's going to hit the roof.
I missed the camera.
Thank goodness for the extra high gate.
I saw the camera shake just a little. I don't know if that was Dave Kuhn jumping out of the way or if he was trying to make the catch. Or we'll have to get him a Harry Carey fishnet for up there. Ground ball to the shortstop, Abbott, over to first. Makes the play. Retires the Millers in the top of the 5th. Well, Jim, we appreciate you coming by and spending some time with us.
Thank you.
And we'll see you later in the season.
Yeah.
And in that. Thanks, Jim. It's always a pleasure to be here.
Thank you, and you're welcome back anytime.
Bye. We are in the middle of the 5th inning here in what has turned out to be a really, really good ball game here. 3 runs, 4 hits, 1 error for the hometown Tigers. The Noblesville Millers, they've got 2 on the board with 2 hits and 1 error. As I said, we're just finishing up the top of the 5th. Moving into the bottom of the 5th, Tigers would obviously love to have the opportunity to put some more runs across here, but you got a tough pitcher out there in Kristen Mello. So all 3 of the pitchers who've been involved in this game today are not the pitchers who give up a lot of runs.
Tigers, number 10, Brooke Hendricks.
Brooke Hendrick, the designated player, steps in for the Tigers in the bottom of the 5th.
Because I didn't turn the music. I'm trying to turn the music off. I'm diving back here. I didn't have everything set up yet. I didn't know how exactly it worked. I'm diving, trying to turn the music down. He turns around. Looks at me.
0-1. A little bit inside. Evens a count at 1-1. One ball, 1 strike. Time is called. The sun becoming a factor on the right field side there. Right fielder Haley Lutz shading her eyes, looking right into a very bright sun. There's a hit right up the middle for Hendricks. She is on base for her first time today. She did sacrifice a run in with a sacrifice fly in the first inning.
Your third baseman, number 6, Katie Shaw.
5th hit of the day for the Tigers. Brings up the third baseman, Katie Shaw. 1 ball, no strikes on Shaw.
Well, Brooke Hendricks needed a hit. If he pinch hits for Christie, well, maybe you do get 2 re-enters. Maybe he can. Maybe he can. You know? Maybe she gets 2 re-enters. What you could do is you bring Brooke Hendricks in.
1 ball, 1 strike. Way outside. 2-1. Kristen Mello trying to keep this a 1-run ball game for the Millers. Katie Shaw would like nothing better than to put a couple runs up on the board. Inside, 2 balls and a strike.
We're going to Marco Island, I think. He has a house down there. And his grandparents.
Make that 3-1 the count now.
Here's pitch here, kid.
That one's over the lower inside corner, bringing it to a full count on Katie Shaw. Shortstop Diane Abbott on deck. Here comes the full count pitch. That one popped up. Third baseman Maddie Moore is under it and makes the play for the first out of the inning. Maddie Moore has been very busy this afternoon. Had a couple very, very good plays out there, especially that foul ball in the last inning where she made a tremendous play right in front of the bleachers. Diane Abbott steps in, the shortstop.
Jiminy Christmas, why didn't we bunt?
Foul ball straight back into the stands.
Pull back and put the ball in play.
Abbott has walked and struck out today.
Ball down.
Pitch from Kristen Mello. There's a bunt right in front of home plate. Third baseman makes the play and does end up making the play at first. But in the meantime, Brooke Hendricks, she moves up to second.
Number 43 at the plate, your left fielder, Aaliyah Gilliam.
2 outs in the bottom of the 5th right now. Aaliyah Gilliam, the left fielder, steps in. Runner on second, 2 outs.
That's her job. She's never going to swing unless he just. That's
Inside, ball 1.
she just can't hit yet. I'm assuming she's going to play Stephanie if she gets on. I bet her walk-up music doesn't start until she actually gets to the plate. I bring Stephanie back in. Girls batting 1,000.
2 balls, no strikes on Gilliam.
Pinch hitter coming, or a good DH.
That one's over the outside corner of the plate, makes it 2-1. 2 outs. We're in the bottom of the 5th. A 3-2 game in favor of the Tigers.
He's probably hoping the league gets a hit.
Tigers hoping for any old kind of a hit here to bring in Brooke Hendricks from second base. Evens a count at 2-2.
Is Kirsty supposed to be better next?
She will bat next, but
I think that's her on
it is. But if she gets on, I would bring in Stephanie Green myself. I mean, I think she's has gotten here every time this year.
A little bit outside, goes to a full count.
Aaliyah, come on. Put a bat on the butt, kid.
Aaliyah Gilliam with a big number 43 on the back of her red jersey. There's a pop-up straight back. Nobody's going to get that.
How much extra fence have you put up?
That one went back behind the stands, right in the back of Jim Wofford's got his new television production truck sit there, and I don't know if it hit it or not, but it had to be awful close.
Or it just angled out.
Right in front of the bumper, so his car is still unscathed.
Last game, too.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. We're in the bottom of the 5th. Kristen Mello gets the sign. And here's the pitch. A little bit outside. So Aaliyah Gilliam is on board with her second walk of the day. And that brings up the second baseman, number 9, Kirsty Brooks. A little bit inside. 1 ball, no strikes. That one's going to be outside. 2-0. Inside, 3-0. Kristen Mello just working each side of the plate with each of the first 3 pitches here to Kirsty Brooks. There's a strike.
You say we have 5 hits? This one in this inning, right? Yep.
Brooks with an opportunity here with a hit to put another run on the board. Swing and a miss. Full count.
Come on, kid.
There's a ground ball. It hits the runner.
Oh, she's out.
It hits the runner, so the runner by that is out. That ball hit the ankle of Aaliyah Gilliam for the 3rd out of the inning. Unfortunately, that takes the Tigers out of a scoring opportunity here in the bottom of the 5th. Fans, Mark Hairbrandt, County Commissioner in District Number 3, would like to remind you of some of the items that he has been involved with so far this year. He's been involved with the collaboration with the City of Fishers, Noblesville, and the state of Indiana to secure $100 million for the State Road 37 improvements. He has been named the outstanding commissioner team for the Association of Indiana Counties of 2015. Instrumental in implementing an energy savings program in all county buildings, which is saving $200,000 in utilities. That's County Commissioner Mark Hairbrandt. We're through 5 here at Fishers High School. I'd like to remind you that you can follow Hamilton County TV on Twitter at hctelevision.com. Look us up on Facebook at www.facebook.com/Hamilton County TV. And just a reminder, every week for the next month and a half, 2 months or so, we're going to be bringing you a Tuesday softball game of the week. And starting next week on the 8th, we're going to be bringing you baseball games of the week. You can check our sports calendar for other games at Hamilton County Television, HTTV1.com. I am Brad Silbert, along with our Hamilton County Television crew, consisting of Jim Wofford in the truck, Dave Kuhn up on the cameras, welcoming you to Fishers High School for this very, very exciting softball game here early in the season. Second baseman Carly Blankenship steps up to the plate. Takes the first pitch for ball 1. Ball 2, a little bit low and outside.
3-2 count, 2 outs, just put down the ball in the right field for sure. Who was on second base? Brooke Hendrick, maybe? And she ain't scoring probably.
The pitch to Blankenship. Past the outstretched arms of Diane Abbott. She's on base with a, they're going to call, is that calling that an error or a hit?
I'll give her a hit.
I think it should be a hit, but that's my opinion.
Let's do it.
That brings up Maddie Moore. That will be considered a hit. So that will be the third hit of the day for the Millers.
At the plate for the Millers, number
Last
10,
time Maddie Moore was up, Carly Blankenship had reached on an error, and Maddie Moore put a ball out of the park to give the Millers their 2 runs. There's a bunt right in front of the plate. Not in time. That was an excellent bunt there by Moore. That ball just went right out in front of the plate and literally died in the dirt there. So Moore gets a base hit. More important, advances Blankenship to second base. There are no outs. And Brooke Heron is the batter. 1-0 on Heron. Heron was the starting pitcher. That one's high. Ball 2. Gabby Shantner trying to work her way out of a jam. Something new coming to Hamilton County Television. Month of May, we're going to have 3 lacrosse games. I know one of those will involve the Fishers Tigers. Be sure to check our sports calendar for that. You can check out that sports calendar at www.htv1.com. Lacrosse is coming to Hamilton County Television. Brooke Heron, 2-0 count on her. That one's a little, whoa, that's called strike. Thought that was a little bit outside. 2-1 now on Heron. Blown out to center and struck out earlier in the game. There's another bunt. That one goes foul. Katie Shaw was charging on that ball and managed to touch it out of bounds to the left of the foul line. So it just turns out to be another strike.
It's just like sectional, isn't it? They're going to bump that ball to death.
2 balls, 2 strikes, no outs. Runners on first and second on the top of the 6th. There's a hit. That one's going all the way to center field. And we're going to end up with a play at the plate, and the play is out. That was a great throw by Janie Schmidt to get Carly Blankenship at the plate.
Batting for the Millers, number 14, Haley Lutz.
So what the result of that is Brooke Heron manages to get a hit, takes second on the throw. Maddie Moore is on third base. There is 1 out. And that brings up the right fielder, Haley Lutz. Great play there by Janie Schmidt. Another bunt right back. That one they were going to try to get the play at the plate, and they didn't make it. And then 2 runs are going to end up scoring. And on that play, Haley Lutz ends up on second base. That was a judgment call there by Gabby. She thought she would have a play at the plate and thought she was going to get the run there, but she did not get the ball to Alyssa Chavez. And so Maddie Moore ends up scoring. So does Brooke Heron when the ball got by Chavez. And Haley Lutz will give her a fielder's choice for the for the play and put 2 runs on the board for the Millers, and they have their first lead of the day at 4-2. When Gabby picked up that ball, I really thought that she would have a play there at home plate, and the ball just ended up being a little bit to the left of the plate, and that caused the problem there. That one gets over the head of Chavez, and Lutz goes to third. That will be a wild pitch. 1 out. Here in the top of the 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out here in the top of the 6th. That one bounces away too, but Chavez does not let it get far enough away for anybody to advance. Julia Furiat, the center fielder, is the batter. Now head coach Aaron Woosley comes out to talk to his players. For those of you subscribing to YouTube, watch us on Smart TV. But also like to give very special thanks today, while you have a break, to all of our great sponsors. They include Community Health, Church, Hiddle, and Antrim, Ivy Tech, Smith's Jewelers, Indiana Restoration Service, Logan Street Signs and Banners, Noblesville Trophies, and Mark Hairbrand. We'd like to thank each and every one of those fine folks for being a Hamilton County television sponsor, making these games possible for you. Here's the situation. The batter is Julia Furnack. The count's 2-1. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. There is a high pop-up. The left fielder comes in and makes the play. Gilliam had a long run to make that play, but she had definitely had the best angle on the ball. She did the wise thing, called off Abbott, and that's the second out of the inning. So none of the runners advance. Looks like we're going to have some kind of a change here. I can't see what is happening here quite yet. We have 1 runner on third base right now. 2 outs.
Pitch hitting for the Millers, number 9, Bree Tregesser.
That's right.
And we do have a pinch hitter for the Millers. First pitch is a strike.
You're going to have to put a urinal up here. That's too far of a walk down there. I can't jog anymore. Too old.
Swing and a miss, strike 2. Bree Tragesser is the pinch hitter. Strike 3, she goes down swinging. So it was a productive inning the top of the 6th inning for the Millers. They put across 2 runs on 2 hits. There were no errors and 1 left on the bases. So in the middle of the 6th now, the Millers have their first lead of the day, 4-3, and the Tigers will be coming to bat. And in the bottom of the 6th, we'll have the 9, 1, and 2 batters coming up for the Tigers. So the Millers finally put together a couple back-to-back hits here, and a little bit of maybe lapse of judgment on Gabby Schoenader's part, trying to make the play at home. But I also understand what she was saying. She was looking there, and I think she did have a good chance at it, but unfortunately it didn't work out. The ball ended up getting by Alyssa Chavez, and 2 runs scored, and the lead changed also from the Tigers at 3-2 to the Millers at 4-3. So we're going to move into the bottom of the 6th inning here. The Tigers will bring up the center fielder, Janie Schmidt, who made an excellent play earlier in the game. The right fielder, Christy Gordon, and the catcher, Alyssa Chavez. Leading off will be
number 22,
Janie Schmidt. Schmidt, if you'll recall, is the one who made a great play out in center field, got the ball in to the plate to get a runner at the plate. There's a foul over to the left side for Schmidt. Swing and a miss by Schmidt. 0-2 on Schmidt. There's a little pop-up that's going to go over the outstretched arms of the shortstop, Gray Smith, for a hit. That's Schmidt's first hit of the day. So the Tigers have got the tying run on base. Back to the top of the order. That brings up the right fielder, Christy Gordon. She's walked. She's flown out to center and grounded right back to the pitcher in the fourth inning. Takes the bunt back. Stolen base on the play by Janie Schmidt. That was actually a fairly close play. So that puts the run in scoring position. Schmidt with the tying run, 1-0. Make that 0-1. Now it's 0-2 on the right fielder, Christy Gordon.
She's a slapper. She ought to be able to slap all day, foul one off until she gets one. Just get one in play. You're sacrificing.
No outs. 0-2 on Gordon. High and over her head. The runner is going to advance. And the Tigers have got a runner on third base. Janie Schmidt, as soon as she saw that ball go out of the glove of Brooke Rundle, she took off for third base. The ball didn't really get that far, and I thought that Rundle might possibly have a play on her there at third, but she never did throw down. Probably a wise move on her part because there's just an awful lot of problems with throwing down to third base at times. Now, also at the same time, when Schmidt ended up at third base, she hit the base pretty hard, so they're letting her kind of work out the kinks in her ankle there to make sure everything is okay. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Gordon. No outs, 1 on. There's a foul ball. Will that be caught or not? Oh, just out of the reach of Maddie Moore. Maddie Moore has made some tremendous plays for the Millers today. She had a great catch on a foul ball right in front of the screen, in front of the stands a little bit earlier. And she came within a few feet of making that play also. That would have been another great play for her. Still 1-2. There's a ball that's going to go over the second baseman's head, and that's going to tie this game up. And here goes Gordon into second. She is safe. She got in under the tag. Another very, very close play. But the Tigers playing aggressively score 1 run and put another runner in scoring position. Second hit of the inning, first run of the inning, and this game is all tied up at 4-4. That'll bring up the catcher, Alyssa Chavez. A little high and outside. Chavez reached on an air. She walked, and she's flown out to the left fielder. No outs here in the bottom of the 6th. There's another one that's going to go for a hit. Let's see what they're going to do. They're going to send her. Will there be a play? No, there will not be a play at the plate. The ball was to the left of the plate, and Rundle dropped the ball, and on the throw in, then Alyssa Chavez will credit her with a base hit and give her second on the throw. Bottom line comes down to another run and another hit for the Tigers. The Tigers retake the lead 5-4. 9th hit of the day for the Tigers.
Is that 3 hits this inning? And 2 runs?
2 runs, 3 hits, no errors so far for the Tigers with no outs here in the bottom of the 6th. There's another one that's going to be a base hit. That one gets beyond the left fielder, Brown, and there's going to be another run score. And on the throw, great base running by Brianna Rance. She goes to second.
Your designated player, number 10, Brooke Hendricks.
So that is 3 runs in the inning. The 10th hit. And that will bring up Brooke Hendricks. Still no outs. 2 runs in. Correction, make that 3 runs in. 3 runs in, no outs.
4 hits, 3 runs.
Brooke Hendricks, the designated player, stepping in. Had a base hitter last time up. Had a sacrifice fly in the first inning. Flew out to left in the 3rd inning. There's a little pop-up. First baseman is under it, makes the play. So the Millers finally retire a Tiger here in the 6th inning. First out of the 6th.
Up next, number 6, Katie Shaw.
Katie Shaw steps in. 1 out. 6-4 now in favor of the Tigers. Ball 1 on Shaw. Shaw with a single and a double so far today. There's a line drive right back to the second baseman. Caught by Carly Blankenship for the out. Almost came very close to doubling Brianna Ransolph, but she was back in time. So now there are 2 outs. Number 5, Diane Abbott steps in. Looks like we might be getting a pinch hitter for Abbott. Looks like number 8, Kylie James, is going to come out to...
Batting for your Lady Tigers, the number 8, Kylie James.
We got 2 outs now in the bottom of the 6th. Tiger runner on second. Pinch hitter Kylie James steps in and swings and misses at strike 1. Brianna Rance ready at second. That one's high and outside. Evens the count at 1-1. 6 runs, 10 hits, 1 error for the Tigers. 4 runs, 5 hits, 1 error for the Millers. That one hits her. So James is on board, but hit by the pitch. And that'll bring up Aaliyah Gilliam. 2 runners on, 2 out. 3 runs in here in the bottom of the 6th. And we're getting a pinch runner. Diane Abbott will re-enter the game as the runner at first base. That one's high. Ball 1. Tigers with an opportunity here to put another run or 2 on the board. They have a 2-run lead right now, and I'm sure that Coach Woosley would like to make that 2 or 3 more. There's a high pop-up. Looks like that's going to be out of play. It is. 1 ball and 1 strike. And the left fielder, Aaliyah Gilliam. Whoa, inside. 2 balls and a strike on Gilliam. That makes it 3-1 on Gilliam. Kirsty Brooks is on deck if Gilliam reaches. There's a hot shot down the third base line, just outside of the third base bag. Full count, 3-2. It's been a great game here this afternoon. I hope you've enjoyed it wherever you're watching today. Full count pitch once again on Aaliyah Gilliam. That will be ball 4. So the bases are now loaded with Tigers, and Kirsty Brooks is stepping up to the plate. Kirsty is the 9th batter this inning.
Number 9, Kirsty Brooks.
Brianna Rance is on second. Diane Abbott, Brianna Rance is on third. Diane Abbott is on the second. Aaliyah Gilliam is on first. That one is going to probably be caught. It is in right field there by Haley Lutz. But a good inning for the Tigers in the bottom of the 6th. They send 9 batters to the plate. They put 3 runs across on 4 hits and no errors. So at the end of 6, Tigers with 6 runs, 10 hits, 1 error. The Millers with 4 runs, 5 hits, and 1 error. Say no job is too small or too big for Indiana Restoration Services. Whether you're a homeowner or a large business experiencing a water, fire, or storm problem, or a homeowner that just simply needs a good carpet cleaning, Indiana Restoration Service has you covered. Contact Indiana Restoration Service with 317-776-9942 or visit them online at www.indianarestorationservice.com. We'd like to really thank all of our sponsors for tonight's game, they being Community Health, Church, Hiddle and Antrim, Ivy Tech, Smith's Jewelers, Indiana Restoration Services, Logan Street Signs and Banners, Noblesville Trophies, and County Commissioner Mark Hairbrand. We appreciate you, great sponsors, being able to bring you, our viewers, these great softball games this spring. Don't forget, next week we will be at Guerin High School on Tuesday night for Guerin and Greenfield Central. Then on Friday, we will start our baseball season. So from that point on, every Tuesday and Friday, we'll have a softball game on Tuesday, baseball on Friday. For the Millers, they're bringing up the 8, 9, and 1 batters here in the top of the 7th. Kimmy Box steps in, shows bunt, but brings the ball back, brings the bat back, takes the first pitch for ball 1. Box popped out to the first baseman, also flew out to center field. There's a ground ball just outside of the line at first base, evens up the count at 1-1. One and one pitch. That one's over the inside corner. 1-2 on the designated player, Kimmy Box. The pitch, a little bit low, evens it up at 2-2. The 2-2 pitch from Slater. Works into a full count. Another foul ball off to the right side. Nice sized crowd here this afternoon. For what has been a little bit of a cool afternoon. Been sunny, but not real warm. The full count pitch. That one's going to go through and be a base hit for Kimmy Box. Right over the outstretched hands of Gabby Schneider.
Up next, number 22, Brooke Russell.
So the Millers pick up their 6th hit of the day. That brings up the catcher, number 22, Brooke Rundle. Rundle has popped up twice today, once to the first baseman, once to the shortstop. There's a pop-up on foul territory out behind us. Rundle is the number 9 batter in Deke Bullard's batting order. Bullard, the brand new coach of the Noblesville Millers this year. Excited about being part of the Miller program. We'll see the Millers a couple more times later in the season. No balls, 1 strike on Rundle. There's a bunt fielded by the pitcher over to first. Kirsty Brooks was covering. There is 1 out.
Up next,
On the play, though, Kimmy Box does advance to second. Top of the order coming up now. Grace Smith steps in. Bounced out to the shortstop and flown out to the third baseman and to left field so far today. Pitch from Gabby Schneider. High. Ball 1. 1 out. 1 runner on. There's a strike over the outside corner. Evens up the count at 1-1. Deke Bullard coaching over at third base, giving signs to his runner Kimmy Box over there, hoping that they can get her across the plate and at least bring this down to a 1-run game. The 1-1 pitch, outside and high. Two balls, 2 strikes. 1 out, 1 on. Schneider with 5 strikeouts today. Through the first 2 games of the season, she had 19. I'm sure she's hoping for number 6 right here. There's a pop-up. Is that going to be caught? It is. Good play there. Catcher Alyssa Chavez got under that ball and made the play on it for the 2nd out.
Up next,
2 outs, 1 on. Top of the 7th. Tigers ahead by 2. Carly Blankenship steps up to the plate. Low and outside for ball one. Blankenship has 2 hits, reached on an error in the third inning. A little bit inside on that one. 2 balls and a strike, 2 outs. Miller's down to their last out of the game. Schneider taking her time out there in the pitching circle. Gets a sign from Chavez. There's a high pop-up out of play behind the right side dugout. Two balls, 1 strike is the count. We will be back here at Fishers at the end of next week to start our baseball coverage when the Fishers Tiger baseball team will take on the Noblesville Millers. That'll be on Friday, April 8th. Coming up on Tuesday, April 5th, we will be at Guerin High School for Guerin and Greenfield Central softball. There's a foul just over, just barely out of play. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. A runner on second. Carly Blankenship trying to extend this game for the Millers. Give them a chance to tie it up. Gabby Schneider trying to end it for the Tigers and give them the victory. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Another pop-up out of play. Good battle here between Blankenship and Schneider. Schneider doesn't like the ball for some reason, asking for another ball. Gets it. Gets her request. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 1 on. Top of the 7th. The game on the line for the Millers and the Tigers right here. There's a lazy fly ball out to right field, grabbed by number 4, Christy Gordon, and that is the game. The Lady Tigers hang in there and finish the game with a 6-4 victory. The final score, Tigers 6 runs, 10 hits, 1 error. Millers 4 runs, 6 hits, and 1 error. We'd like to thank you for watching this week's presentation of Hamilton County Television Sports Softball. Don't forget, coming up 1 week from today, we will be at Guerin High School for Guerin and Greenfield Central. A week from Friday, we'll be back here at Fishers for Fishers and Noblesville baseball. Like to thank our great Hamilton County Television crew down in the truck, Jim Wofford, up on the roof getting the pictures for us, David Kuhn. Thank you guys for doing a great job. On behalf of everybody at Hamilton County Television, I'm Brad Silbert. Good night.